When the cameras aren't rolling and the spotlight is off, what are your favorite celebs really like? This is Buck the System, the podcast that peeks behind the curtain, under the covers, and brings you along as host Buck Gritano exposes real reality. We started with the captains of the smash hit TV show Wicked Tuna. How cool is that? And every time we buck the system, we have an awesome time doing it. So now, let's have some fun. You ready? Buckle up and let's go. Big Apple Elevator Service is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, family-owned and operated elevator maintenance and repair company. We'll provide you with the best service possible with a 1-hour response time for any trouble calls you may have. We also perform all Category 1 and 5 tests that are required in New York and clear any existing violations so your elevators are safe and up to code. Call 212-279-0700. 212-279-0700.
Come on out to the Bungalow Bar, located at 377 Beach 92nd Street in Rockaway Beach, New York. Located right on the corner of Beach 92nd Street and Beach Channel Drive. Come and enjoy our choice of dine-in service with beautiful views of Jamaica Bay and a breathtaking sunset view. Or enjoy our takeout service and no-contact delivery as well. Either way you decide to dine, you will be satisfied with our famous American-style cuisine, great drinks, and great service. Brought to you by IGC Hospitality, the staff at Bungalow Bar hope to see you real soon. Now, enjoy your scheduled program, Buck the System with Buck and Fox.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Buck Gritano here for another episode of Buck the System. Like to have back Brian Fox. Brian's been my man, my right-hand man. I should say left-hand man here. I guess right hand on the screen, left hand, whatever you want to say. But Buck Gritano and Brian Fox were right at you. Thank you so much. Honestly, Brian's intro right there, man, for the Bungalow Bar. Absolutely.
Like that.
Oh, I love it. I don't like it. I love it. Absolutely love it, man. Giving Buck the System a little different flavor. Had a local guy from Rockaway Beach, John Burke, singer of Wine with Sue, man. And honestly, the feedback we got from Wine with Sue's fans,
great.
Absolutely amazing, man. John, I can't wait to have the other guys on the show, which is pretty amazing. This started off right here as a little podcast during coronavirus time. Yeah. So it's growing to show number 29. And it kind of all started with TJ Ott and the Ott family of the Hot Tuna from Broad Channel. Them guys came on. I had TJ on the first time, right? I had him on, local guy. Actually played roller hockey. We played roller hockey together in the same place, right? Yep. So played for the Rockies. TJ and his brother. Now you guys see them on the National Geographic show Wicked Tuna.
I don't think there's any audio. Do you hear yourself in your headphones?
I hear myself, yeah.
I can't hear it.
Can you guys hear me out there? If I get anybody out there that says we're getting any
we get somebody
audio?
in the comments there. Can you guys hear us on the audio?
Because this is a brand new.
We got a whole new setup here and a little bit of trial and error here. So,
if you guys can hear us, I just went through. I had the Bungalow Bar. What a great. Can you guys hear me? I don't know. This is how I start. A great show. 29 is a great show. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. Anybody can hear, if you get the audio, I think we're having audio difficulties. I don't know. Can you hear us? Yeah, they can hear. They said they can hear fine. So perfect. All right. So
excellent. Cool.
Ryan's over here, and I got to thank Ryan because he's standing in as a producer. I used to do this whole thing myself. So I used to have the nightmare of the nightmare times with the show, trying to do it. Started during the coronavirus, staying home, the pandemic, and I appreciate that. All good. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. How's your horses doing in Suffolk Downs, man? That's my boy. He runs Joe. I already knows Joe. I remember the 100 Precinct guy, man. I was kind of afraid of him, but that's a long time ago. Like to welcome you to the show, Buck the System. And like I said, we started off with Wicked Tuna. We started off with the Odd Family. And they actually, spoiler alert out there for Wicked Tuna fans, they won season 9 up in Gloucester, okay? Now, if you don't know by now that they won, it's on you. It's all on you, man. I ain't giving nothing. Like I was trying to say, would you go to a Met game? Like you want to say the Mets score, right? Well, the Mets win today. I'm going to go check out ESPN or the Mets.com and look it up and say, well, yeah, absolutely. The Mets. Stay off that if you didn't watch any episode. Now we're in the Outer Banks. And I put up this message, that Zach is going to come on the show. Zack Shackleton and Daniel Blanks is going to come on the show. If you guys know them guys, We got a lot of feedback saying they better have some subtitle, and I was like, subtitle for them or for me? You know what I mean? Like, because I'm from Queens, New York, Rockaway Beach, right on. If you guys ever heard of the song, the Ramones song, Rock, Rock, Rockaway Beach, that's where we're from. These guys are from North Carolina, the Outer Banks. I like to bring in from I think they're season 7.
Season
7 of the Outer Banks, and .com shows up down in the Outer Banks representing. I love Dave, man. I had Dave on in the beginning. He's a great guy. These guys, let's bring on Zach. No, you know what? Let's not even bring Zach on. Let's bring Minnie on. Is she around? There, Minnie.
Yeah. Hi, Minnie. That's right.
Yo, listen, man. Thank you guys for coming on. We got Daniel, and we got Zach from the Rasta Rocket itself. Guys catching air, man.
The underdog.
Tony Hawk, shit. The one and only, man. Thank you so much for taking the time, man, to come on. You guys, last season was the craziest thing. This little boat shows up, the Outer Banks, and the first couple of weeks, these guys are on the top of the leaderboard, man. So you guys got some respect from the other boats, definitely. Yeah. The north-south feeling. You guys definitely got respect. You pull up in this little boat, grabbing these 800, 900-pound fish. Man, what is it like? What is it like being on Wicked Tuna for you guys? You guys are a fisherman, regardless of if it's on the show or not. What is it like, guys, to be on Wicked Tuna?
Cool. It's been a fun experience.
It's been a phenomenal experience, man. It's really cool to have something to go back and actually look on, and we've had plenty of opportunities out of the show, and we're just blessed to have it, man.
Now, I got to get myself a hat. Like we talked before, I want a hat, a Rasta Rocket hat, and I will give you my address. You send it up to me. Maybe give it to one of the northern boats, and they can flick it out. When I'm at Rockaway Beach, I'll swim out to get it. You know, I don't know how they do that, but I'm not a fisherman. I can't say that I fish at all, really. But I was definitely intrigued meeting up with all these guys, the captains, man. Every one of you guys have been dynamite. I only felt bad for Marciano going to the Outer Banks. I was kind of happy he didn't show up this season because the last couple of seasons, he was having a tough time. But you guys know the water. How did you guys even get the opportunity to go on Wicked Tuna? How did that happen? Tell us, because I know you guys fish. How did it all work out that you guys showed up and were on Wicked Tuna?
To start off, man, years ago, the producers contacted us, and we kind of talked with them at first, and I really don't think they took us serious being in the boat we was in years ago. Me and Dan, we've always fished together for probably the past 6 or 7 years, and we ran boats before we actually bought the Rasta Rocket together. And we was running some other person's boat. They contacted us, and I really don't think they took us serious. But a few years passed. Daniel's girlfriend sent an application in as, kind of a joke. We figured they already talked to us one time. We wouldn't hear nothing back. And the story tells itself. We're there. We're showing these big guys what's up. And, we owe it to Marissa. We owe it to Daniel's girlfriend.
Now,
she sent an application in, and we was blessed.
Now, how long before that decision that you guys made to try to get onto the show, do you make the decision to say, you know what, forget the regular everyday fishing, we're going tuna fishing. We want to be on this show. We want to go hardcore tuna fishing. How long before the show did you guys make that decision?
We've tuna fished before the show, years before the show. If you remember 5 years ago when that boat sank on the Outer Banks episode, we were the guys in that center console that got them off. We've been up there tuna fishing for 6 years now, and 3 or 4 before the show. And we grouper fish. We fish all year round. Every dollar we make comes off of that boat.
It's just seasons. Bluefin tuna are pretty much from January through March. And during that time period, we don't. It's more profitable for us to go up there and tuna fish than to stick around here at the house and do something else. So during those months, we go up there, try to be as cost efficient as possible, and hey, it works for us, you know.
I just love the picture of you guys coming over and just flying through the air. I mean, some of the roughest. I mean, I don't even know the Outer Banks. I'm not going to pretend like I know, but watching the last couple of seasons, just getting out in the water out there. I remember a couple episodes ago, Dave was saying that the cold water and the warm water and the cold water meet at that point, and it is some badass weather. You guys come out with this 25. I don't even know how long it is. I don't want to get it wrong. 20-foot boat flying through the air. You guys definitely got your Rasta Rocket is the right name because you guys are like shooting down like the Jamaicans and like you said, Cool Running. It's named after. So shooting and flying, these guys, the underdogs, the hustlers. You guys, man, that's some good stuff, man. That's some good stuff. Now, how'd you guys get into fishing? Like, let's go with Zach. Zach, how do you get into fishing? The first time you went fishing, who got you into fishing to the point where you're at now?
Man, I was blessed to be born in a fishing family. My dad, my aunts, my uncles, everybody, my mom, everybody enjoyed fishing, and I learned from a young age, and I took it from there. I started commercial fishing when I was in high school. We lived here at Holden Beach, and I started commercial fishing. Ever since I learned I could make money doing it, I stuck with it, and here we are today.
What a dream, man. That's pretty cool, man. Thank God for your girlfriend for sending that application out, man. That's amazing because you guys didn't put that out there. You guys were the guys who rescued, and you guys came over in that season where the boat was sinking. You guys would have been like a spit of a memory, a forgotten memory. But you guys do a lot of tournament fishing also, I see. You guys have some big tournament wins. You're involved in fishing. Fishing is, like you said, it's the bread and butter that, you pay the bills with that kind of stuff. People now, social media. How are you guys taking the social media where people don't know you? They think you're making $1 million, right? Because you're on Wicked Tuna, you're on National Geographic, so you're making all that money now, right? Wink, wink. What is it like, man? I mean, the whole experience, the everything about it, being on the show, it's surreal sometimes. But
the experience is surreal. I mean, we definitely got our name out. I mean, that's no doubt. There's people that come up to us and approach us. We never in a million years would have dreamed that anybody would ever be approaching us because of what we've done fishing wise. It's a different experience. We still ain't quite used to it yet, but I mean we're like the humble guys. We're the down home every day. We'll go see it in the bar. I mean, we're just real humble guys. We're the everyman, working man's team. I think everybody can relate to us, Yeah.
We're not going to be at the bar saying, hey, we're on Wicked Tuna, we're the man. Right. But if somebody comes up and talks to us about it, we'll talk to them, We're not real boastful, I guess.
How is the social media aspect? Like I was trying to get into that at the first point of the question, but I always wander around. I'm all over the place. But social media, how are you handling social media lately, man? Because sometimes with the show, I get a little bit, people, bad comments or get on me or I take stuff very hard, man. I'm very bad on myself. So I have Brian to help me saying, don't worry about the social media aspect of it. If they, but I see stupid stuff. How do you guys deal with social media?
The irony behind that, man.
Yeah, pretty much. Now people Facebook requesting you all the time and stuff like that. What's social media been like lately?
Man, I honestly, Daniel, he doesn't have a Facebook account, and I'm on an old school. I got a Facebook account. I don't have an Instagram. I don't know. I hadn't been big on social media, and I realized that I really probably need to use that to our advantage. I do get a bunch of friend requests, and I try to, everybody that sends support, I try to get back to them because, I mean, that's what it's all about. Those fans are enjoying us, and I don't get a chance to get every one of them in time, but I try to take the time and send them something back or something because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. I mean, we're not used to that yet, and we're just trying to build up our base. We need all the support we can get.
We're appreciative for it and thankful for it.
That's great.
But I realized that social media, we definitely probably should capitalize more on it. But we're just pretty down home guys. I mean, and honestly, we stay fit. We commercial fish. Like after the tuna season's over with, we grouper snapper fish, and a lot of times we're gone 2 days at the time. You know, I mean, you've seen how long it took for us to get on the show. It took this has been a 2-month process here going on. We've been fishing and stuff, and we just had this hurricane come in. We got a little bit of time now, a little downtime.
Now, does that hurricane shake up the fishing season? Like, does that really affect you guys as far as, you know, maybe catching more, maybe catching less?
Every storm's different. We had storms that we fished right before the storm, been phenomenal fishing. That storm passed, it gets pretty. Normally after a storm comes through, it gets really nice on the backside of that storm. The weather gets really nice. You get some nice seas. And a lot of times we'll try to capitalize on that. And generally the fishing's really good after a storm.
I'm sure you guys are praying for glassy water too sometimes. I mean, some of the episodes I've seen, man, you guys take a beating out there in that boat. I mean, compared to the other guys. I mean, the other guys are so, you know, their boats are so much bigger. But I can only imagine. I mean, there's 4 of you on the boat, right? Three crew and then a cameraman?
That's right.
And then when you catch a 95 to 105 incher, it gets a little tight on that thing, right?
Everybody's got to love each other. We got to squeeze in there.
I was told on Facebook already, talking about being positive, shut up and let them tell their story. So I was like, oh, look at this. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. John. I'll let them talk, man. So, you know, but I just love watching you guys. Any kind of, I see the underdogs, man. I'm all in on you guys, man. You guys go out there and risk yourself, not even on the size of the boat, the conditions that you guys are fishing in, it was unreal. Especially the last episode, that was crazy weather. And I see you guys just hopping around, jumping around, and like it's nothing, man. Does the ocean? You afraid of the ocean? Does it scare you sometimes?
We try not to let it scare us. I mean, if you get scared, a lot of times that's when you make bad decisions. And we just got to kind of keep it cool and collective and just kind of, you got to really read the water up there. And you get enough experience, you can kind of see what's about to happen with the next wave in front of you. And being in our little boat, experience plays well for us. You know, we're not used to these big boats. That's what all we've ever had. So after doing it for 15 years or better, we got a little understanding of it.
Now, I'm curious about, like, when you guys catch other fish. Like, the other night I was watching one of the episodes where the pinwheel caught a swordfish, like, you know, overnight or whatever. What's the coolest thing you guys have caught while you've been out there? Like, what's your prize fish?
What has I been prize fish?
You know, like a marlin, or did you ever, you know, like anything like that?
That one right there looks nice. You guys, 3 guys are holding in the background over here. Yeah. It's a nice little fish. I don't know what it is with the orange shirt in the middle. Yeah, what's that one?
That's actually a king mackerel. That was in one of our tournaments that we was on. That fish was worth about $25,000.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a pretty nice payday.
And it wasn't going to Japan. That's great. $25,000 and it wasn't being shipped to Japan. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
How'd you win that? What kind of tournament did you win that in?
That was actually that was a championship tournament. Like, it was a limited amount of boats entered. I think there was 30 boats or so in it. And throughout the year, there's 3 or 4 tournaments. At the end of that year, they take the top 10 boats of the tournament, and they all fish in the championship at the end of the year. And that was the championship tournament. We won it, luckily.
And you guys won it. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Wow. No, that's awesome, man. You guys know what you're doing. You're in the right spots. And where'd you learn how to fish like that, man? I mean, is it just going out constantly to the same areas, or who taught you guys how to fish?
Persistence. We was blessed both of us was taught by good captains previous. When I was first started out, when I turned 18, I was chartering for a guy, and I learned a lot of techniques from him. I fished with a ton of different people, and I picked up. You always learn while fishing, even if it's something you don't know. You You don't want to learn. You always are learning something. And I don't know. We was both blessed by good teachers.
Every time you're around somebody else, you listen to how their program works, and you pick apart what they know, and you learn what you can, and you evolve that into your program, and you make your program as good as possible. What makes us successful is we fish together every day. We live together for the most part. We know what each other's going to do before the other one does it. We don't have to talk to know what's going on.
I mean, you guys are real likable guys. You know, I'm sure like the other guys from the north, they accepted you guys like totally fine, right? I mean, seems like they have a ton of respect for you guys.
It took a second to get it, but I think they finally accepted us now.
Yeah, it seems like that from a fan perspective. You know, what do you have like a dream destination, like a dream place that you want to go fishing, like bucket list type of stuff?
We've been from Mississippi to Virginia, and there's no place I'd rather be than where we're at right here.
Cool.
We know how to fish here, and we can get it done, and we can make a living here. There ain't nowhere else I want to go.
That's
Cool.
That's great, man.
It would be cool to go somewhere, tropical or something, just to go visit. But as far as fishing, we got it figured out here at home. And that's how we're going to make our living. We're going to accept that.
Living the dream, right?
No, but that's what he said to me. We talked on the phone with Zach, and I'm like, Zach's like, yo, this is the best situation that there is for me, man. I love it down here. I love what I do. I love everything. And I guess the Wicked Tuna's like the cream on top with a cherry, man. Mm-hmm. So you guys get the recognition of being outstanding fishermen, man. And when we watch you on the show, you guys know what you're doing. The best episode I ever watched was, I mean, not for Zach himself, but when you were sick and last season, and you look like you were gonna fall down, man. You like you were drunk out there. Forget about the water. And Daniel picks it up, but a lot of people out there don't realize that Daniel is the co-owner of the Rasta Rocket, and he doesn't get the recognition that I guess is Zach. You get Zach, right? I guess because everybody's like, oh, Zach's the captain. But you are. This is a 50-50 or whatever which way you guys made it out to be. Daniel is half a part of whatever goes on in the Rasta Rocket. I wanted to put that out there on social media on the show, actually. Because you seem like Zach gets all the love, man. And I want Daniel to get some love.
Well, Minnie gets all the love, yeah.
That's who we want to be famous is Minnie. We don't care about either of us. We want Minnie to get all the recognition.
That's it.
What is it, guys, about dogs on the boat? I don't understand that, man. I see guys out. I'm not a fisherman. So I'm not going to pretend that I'm a fisherman. But what is it up with the dogs on the boat? I know that every boat almost has a dog. Last year, somebody brought this big fluffy dog. It was a fake dog on the boat. And he had a dog. So it's kind of like a going thing. What is it up with the dogs on the boat? Is it good luck?
I mean, Minnie's good luck, obviously. I mean, I can't speak for the other dogs on the show, but I mean...
You guys rubbed her on the reel, and boom, that happened, man, right away. It was awesome.
Most of the time.
That was awesome. That was so awesome.
You guys have been lucky, man, because when you see a lot of stuff, there's a lot of episodes, a lot of film, and only certain amount gets shown on TV, right? I'm sure. But last year, you guys, under the pressure of the cameras, really picked up your game, right? You guys had it was a dynamite year you guys had. Forget about winning.
It was phenomenal last year. I mean, like, anybody can say they catch tuna. You can say in your studio, I'm the tuna god. But
I am.
When you put those cameras on the boat and you actually got to produce, it's so stressful. It's more mental game. You got to overcome mentally than actually produce the fish. You got to put all of that aside and still do your job with cameras in your way, cameraman, it throws off your game a little bit, but I mean, we put that in the back of our mind, and we had an absolutely perfect year last year. We didn't really lose no fish. Like, every fish we hooked, we caught. It was a phenomenal year. I mean, we couldn't ask for no better to come out the gate. We came out the gate swinging.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people losing, a lot of people were losing fish the first, episode of the new season in the Outer Banks. I mean, is the Outer Banks really that much different, rough-wise? I mean, the water is brutal, right?
Oh yeah, it's a different world.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to deal with rough water all year, but compared to up north where they're fishing just a couple miles off the beach, I mean, that's a different ball game.
That picture that like we're shooting up out the air that you're talking about.
Best picture ever.
You ever see that? You remember that TV show Hawaii 5-0? They show that big old wave coming in. It was like that day at the inlet. It was huge. Like we had to come out the air. If we didn't, that wave was just gonna come over top of us.
And now, I mean, you take a jump like that. You know, you come off of a wake like that and you land. I mean, you go home with some physical ailments though. Sometimes I'm sure your backs are hurting, your knees are hurting. You know, like I have a bad back. I don't know if I'd be able to do that.
We've done it so long. We just try. If we ever stop, then we might have to reap the consequences then. But we just try to keep it going, and you know our body's toned to that right now. Sure. But if we ever give it up, we're gonna be screwed.
You guys are talking about Hawaii 5-0 type waves. I'm thinking it's like the Deuce of Hazzard. You guys are flying through the air. I just aged myself there, I guess, right? The Daisy Dukes and stuff like that. But
we need us one of those horns. We need us that horn.
It looked like Michael Knight hitting the boosters, the jumper. You know.
That's funny. You said Michael Knight, and I know it's not a different story, but that's like some anniversary of the Knight Rider coming out. I heard it on the radio, whatever. That's a stupid fact. But people out there, they want to hear Wicked Tuna, Wicked Tuna. Your fans out there are outstanding, man. Yeah. When it comes to social media, you guys have to be able to do one of them before show interviews. I'm sure end of the season, right? You'll come on Facebook and do a show. I see guys do it, and everybody does it on a Sunday before the premiere of a new episode. And the tens of thousands of people that watch these things, man, well watched. Like I was saying to myself, how does a fishing show last 9 seasons, 7 seasons? Catch a fish, don't catch a fish. He's a 800-pounder, 700-pounder dressed. I learned that is dressed, his head cut off and shit like that. But whatever. But the money and stuff like that, the race to get to the top, it's totally. How do you think that this works for TV? How does fishing work for TV?
I think this show has so much success. I mean, just the diversity of the people that it reaches. So you got your mom and dad and little girl, little son, whoever can watch this show. There's something for everybody. There's action. You catching fish. You got yelling by some people. I mean, you got boats flying out in the air. I mean, what's there not to like?
Yeah, you got dogs.
And you got dogs.
Come on, man. Everybody loves that.
Many. Look.
Showtime. Showtime. That's it. I'm going home.
I mean, how could you not love that face?
You guys have to get an Instagram page for her alone.
Oh, man.
You don't know how many people's told us that. We definitely got to get on that.
Oh, you got to do it.
See, I think she's ready for the big screen, man.
We're just afraid she's gonna have more followers than the boat page.
Yeah.
The name, I know the name is the Rasta Rocket, right? How'd you guys come up with the name? Why was the Cool Runnings? Why Cool Runnings?
Man, with me and Daniel, we was sitting in the living room one day. Cool Runnings was one of my favorite movies growing up. We was just rewatching it, sitting in the living room. And there's a scene that shows up right during the push car derby. As the front of it's got the Rasta Rocket on there, spelled in Rastafarian letters like the red, yellow, and green. And I was like, man, if we ever get a boat, that's what we need to call it. And Daniel, he was on board with me. And you know, the whole movie, just the underdogs rising up and actually making it to the Olympics. I mean, it's our story.
Right.
I mean, come on, it fit perfect.
I want to see you guys in a couple seasons down the line. You guys get a big boat like Paul just had done, right? The Wicked Pistons done over. You guys on a boat like that, what kind of damage would you guys do on a boat like that? With a green stick and everything, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think those guys would have a chance personally, but I mean, we do pretty good with our little boat. If we would be able to go fishing every day, they would be going fishing. I think it'd be a pretty fair competition then. I think we'd be leading the pack.
for what we can do with the less amount of days, if we could fish every day they did, I mean, I'm not gonna say what would happen, but I think it would be a different story.
We give them a run for their money already. I mean, I think we'd really be some competition then.
I'll tell you, I came up with a good thought today, like when I was watching the beginning of the season, the first episode, and they had the first boat to catch a fish. Do you guys? I mean, maybe I don't know if you can talk about.
You gotta be careful, Brian. Brian, you gotta be careful. People out there that haven't seen episodes, you gotta say spoiler alert first. Spoiler alert.
Well, I'm not saying who caught anything,
Okay.
but I'm just curious. Like in the beginning, before the season starts, do you guys have that? Do you guys have that dinner? You sit down, you all gather around, and you say, all right, $100 a boat. Whoever catches the first fish, and you guys all ante up and put it in a pool. Just any kind of side bets and stuff like that.
Nah.
I think you guys should start doing that.
Yeah, you don't gotta bet. You don't gotta bet with money, guys, man. Like something's like stupid. You have to like take a share. I don't know. Do something outrageous if you lose. It doesn't have to be money. These guys are on the boats to make money. These guys don't want to. I saw that because one episode I saw you guys have $1 and you try to put it in the reel and you guys were like about $1 flipping away into the ocean. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You guys.
We pinching pennies.
But people on social media say, like, oh, these guys are making a lot of money. You save a lot of money on gas because you have a small boat. Right. But, I mean, let's see where you guys came from, what you got. Because they think that you're on TV, you're making $1 trillion. Right? I mean, that's what it is. I mean, but...
I guess that's their perception, I guess. But in real life, we're just some average working class people, just like everybody in America. I think that's why everybody can relate to us. But as far as $1 trillion goes, maybe in a few years we got to catch a lot more fish.
I mean, how do you make that decision to get rid of the Rasta Rocket at some point once you start making
That boat will never leave the yard. We'll always own that boat. We might own two, but we'll always own that one.
Yeah. You can't forget where you come from.
That's right.
That would be like the lifeboat, man. You just tow it around in the back. Like the lifeboat. The Rasta Rocket is the lifeboat. But people all over the place are coming in the live feed. We got Jason, he says hello. We have somebody in Darlington, South Carolina. Leslie saying hello. Everybody loves you, man. Michelle is saying love Minnie. Of course, they love the dog, man. They ain't loving us, man. They love the dogs. I'm going to get a dog for the show, man. We got to get a dog for the show. We do have a dog in here. We're going to bring it in.
We got one.
Ryan, maybe we could borrow your dog because it seems like it's the thing to do. We have a dog, beautiful golden retriever dog. Come in here, beautiful. Yeah, come here. Get over here. Hey, come on. All right, we're trying to get dog on here. Here we go. Up here.
Oh.
Come here. Come here.
Oh.
There we go. I got a new dog. There we go.
Say hey.
She's like, welcome to Paradise.
You just went up 100 viewers right there.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. We got the dog now, man. The dog. Here we are.
Good
Who
girl.
else we have in here? Awesome, guys. From Greg. Greg saying, what's up? Stanford, North Carolina is in the house. What's up, baby?
Everywhere.
Brian. The best around, the best team around. We got Amber saying what's that? We got Lancaster. Look at that, man. You guys are all over the place. Man.
Everywhere.
We appreciate everybody.
Mullet.
Thank you all for the support.
Now, where's the...
Hold your thumbs up so we can get 4.
4 thumbs.
If we can get Minnie's paws up, her paws will be up too. We appreciate everybody.
Yeah, you guys brought such an awesome element to the show, man. It really attracts a younger crowd, which is so cool, and it's, man, I've been really enjoying watching the show with you guys on it, man, since you came on.
It's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. It's you know what it is? I got my hometown favorites. Hot Tuna. I'm sorry. TJ is my... you guys will be like the second or third down the line. I'm sorry about that, but I still love you guys, man. I still want the free hat. I love the hat or the shirt.
We'll have some Buck the System apparel.
Okay, now we still got a special hello here, man. She loved these guys, and I think that somebody else that's on the boat, the third man on the boat, right? We got to give him some love too. I assume that. Where I lost it. Where am I? Glenn Britt. I don't know. What's the third guy in the boat. I mean, I'm some terrible at names.
Shane.
Shane.
Shane's our muscle. Shane's our muscle. If it wasn't for him, everybody that sees the show, you wouldn't probably see half of the fish we catch because me and Daniel wouldn't be able to pull them in.
I'm so sorry, Shane, man. People are like, oh, this guy, watch the show. But I am Facebook friends with Shane. We got to get Shane on also. Now, if Shane wasn't there, would you guys be dragging the fish? Can you guys drag a fish of 800 pounds within the Rasta Rocket?
It would take a few hours to get back. We wouldn't get that 12 o'clock deadline every day, that's for sure. We've had fish that we've caught that we couldn't get in the boat, but we just like drug it to somebody else that was out there fishing and flagged them down and made them like get on our boat and help us pull it in.
Wow.
But we didn't want to look like we was weak or anything, so we had to get Shane on the boat to beast it up, you know.
What's the most expensive fish you guys ever got? Tuna fish, the most expensive one you ever got at the market.
We got $33 a pound last year. I think it was like it was a little over 16 grand or something.
Wow.
That was the best fish we've ever had. Like, that was the diamond. The diamond we've been mining for.
So that's like the perfect fish then. I mean, 33. I mean, I think I saw one that was 29, 33. That's crazy. Wow.
I think we hold the record for it. For the show. Way for the Outer Banks. I want to say that, but I'm not. Don't quote me on that.
You are quoted already. You kidding me? You were definitely quoted. Greetings from the other island over. You got greetings from Pete Lee saying hello. So the other island over, I don't know what that means. The other island over for me, I'm on a peninsula, is Broad Channel. That's where the odds are from. So
that's where TJ's from.
That's where TJ's from. So, you know, you guys can't compete with the other island because they just, you know what it is? I just seen this guy, TJ, getting better and better and better every season, man. Yeah. And I'm so proud of him, man. So I'm sure the people in your neighborhood or your area are so proud of you by giving shout-outs to you on, you know, Facebook Live right now on Buck the System, man.
Blowing up.
For sure. We got a major, like, hometown support group. Like, it's ridiculous. And that's all we wanted to do from the get-go was make everybody around here proud. You know, we're proud of where we came from.
That's awesome.
That is incredible. Now, we know you guys fish. We love fishing. Can you tell me some things you guys like to do away from fishing, on, you know, relaxation, or what are you guys into besides, you know, fishing?
I wish we could relax and stuff, but we don't charter fish or anything. We just commercial fish. So normally it's a steady grind. If we're not doing something, we have to switch gears and go do something else. You know, we got to make our money just like everybody else. We got to go to work and do something.
If we're not fishing, we're working on the boat, and if we're not working on the boat, we're bass fishing in my neighborhood. If we're not fishing, we're still fishing. I mean, it's pretty much all we do.
How do you think you guys would fare crab fishing? That's a totally different element, totally different world, right?
Dude,
I don't want no parts of it.
I don't
want
like
no part of it.
Who wants to be in the Bering Sea and watch them shows like that, man, and the ice is building up, man? I'm afraid to go on the ferry, man, into Manhattan. Forget about them folks, man. You guys can never get me out there.
Fun fact is our cameraman's badass. It's cool. And he actually did the Deadliest Catch before he was our cameraman. Like, they had to get a special cameraman to come do our boat for us.
Wow.
And he said he was colder on our boat than he was on the Bering Sea, though.
Wow.
So we're dealing with some pretty cold stuff here in the Outer Banks in the wintertime.
Wow.
If he was colder on our boat than on the crab boat.
That's interesting.
He came dressed up in his flannels though. First day, we kind of laughed at him. We're like, dude, you got to dress way more than that. It's all about the layers.
Yeah. Ashley Denson says she's very, very proud of you guys. Ashley says, you know,
that's my sister.
She's very proud of you guys.
Yeah.
All right, so you're getting some love from the family. That's good. That's good to know.
Sure.
Now you guys driving out, you're hanging, you're fishing. Music. What kind of music do you guys listen to, man? Because you know there's none on the show. Is there even music on the Rasta Rocket, man? Can you play music on there?
Dude, I wish. That was like All right, here's the story. Our first day, we was tuna fishing last year. Luckily, the first day we went fishing, we sat out, caught a tuna. There was like no footage of us sitting around. But the second or third day we was going out there, we was fishing. We had some downtime. We didn't get our bite first thing in the morning. So we was like, oh, we're going to crank some tuna. We're going to catch us a tuna. We're going to call them up. We sat there, we started listening to some music, and our cameraman just looked at us and just shook his head. And we're like, what? You know, ain't nobody gave us the rules on being on TV. And he's like, man, you can't listen to music. You know, I guess the copyrights or something like that.
Okay.
So it kind of sucks at times. Sometimes it's nice just to turn on some jams and clear your mind a little bit. But we'll deal with it.
What jams would you throw on? I want to know the music you would throw on. I want to get a little feel of you. You know what I mean, Zach? I want to know what Daniel and Zach want to tune into. If there's no cameras on, what are you listening to, man?
What channel are you putting on Sirius?
Man, as far as the Sirius channel, the Grateful Dead channel, I mean,
That's
pretty
a shocker.
Pretty jamming station. I think that's a common station though throughout the Wicked Tuna fleet. I mean, we got TJ, he loves the Dead. We got Tyler. You always see the bears on his windows. I mean, it's a good station. But we listen to everything, man. Like when you're in the ocean, music's all you got. You know, we don't have anything else. Me and Daniel already know everything about each other. We got to have some music to lighten up the mood, you know.
You know, maybe you could pay a boat or something to, like, you know, be on its own and just follow you guys around with music. They can't get in trouble, right? You can get away with that. Wink.
We need a Chase Jam boat.
That's right.
I'm trying to think what I would listen to. I mean, one of my favorite albums of all time is Rasta Man Vibration by Bob Marley. It's like 1978. It's got classics on it, not the greatest hits. So when I saw Rasta Rocket, first of all, I asked TJ, I asked, the same thing. I said, you like the reggae music, right? I'm like, it's got to be the reggae music, you know? And he's like, no, it's the boat from the movie. And I'm like, okay, the bobsled, I'm saying. And I'm like, I thought you guys are really die-hard reggae guy. I asked Tyler the same thing. He listens to reggae music, but I love that. And then I started downloading some other stuff on here. But it gives you an idea what the person's about, what kind of music to listen to. And
man, download you Buju Banton, Ain't No Place the Rasta Can't Go, because that's our theme song, son. There's no place that we can't go.
Buju Banton is classic.
That's what
Classic reggae.
Put that on your playlist.
I will throw it on there. Definitely throw it on there, man. That's absolutely cool. Let's go right here to Facebook real quick. Somebody wrote in. Chris wrote in. He wrote Limp Bizkit. Limp Bizkit. I liked it a little bit, but that guy is a little bit. I don't know. Rolling was cool, and then I don't know.
You got to be in a massacre of tuna. You got to be like in an epic bite to be listening to that, I would think.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just a straight fish massacre, maybe. Get your little head banging while you're reeling the fish in, you know.
Okay. The last episode, and if you didn't watch it, I'm going to say, I seen a lot of the tunas chasing bluefish. And I know bluefish from the neighborhood over here because I have caught a couple of blues in my day, right? Maybe 2 or 3 of them. Okay, whatever. But I caught them before. Have you ever seen anything like that? Did the fish jumping like that in a long time, man? Because it seems like people say that tunas are struggling because you see that big thing that pops up before Wicked Tuna about how the fish, 1950, it pops up every episode. I should have put it up, but is it more growing, the tunas, or they're coming back? What's the feel you get going out on the ocean with the tuna fish now?
I think it's a pretty healthy population of them. I think we should get more quota than we do, but we're not in charge of that, you know. The bluefish, that hadn't happened in probably 6 years, 7 years. We've been wanting to see that every year that we've been up there, and this is the first year that it's happened since we've been going up there, really.
As far as like the fishery, though, I think it's getting better. When we first started doing this, we seen there was a lot of boats catching shorts. You've seen a lot of people, the fish that they did catch was 73, 74, 76 inches, 80 inches, and barely squeakers. But as it's going on, now you don't hardly ever hear of any shorts. I mean, it's 100 inchers, 95 inchers. I think the fish has definitely grew. That school of fish that comes through that area, I think they're just getting bigger. It's definitely gotten pretty phenomenal the past few years.
You guys deserve an extra fish, man. I would want that for you guys. You know, bringing that extra 30 something, what it's called, $15,000-$20,000 home, you know, to the kid now and the dog and whatever, and it'll be awesome. That's the stuff I want to see, man. You know what I mean?
Could you imagine 2 tunas in the back? How crowded we would be then? Hey, we would do it. We would do it.
You guys would jump on it and ride. You would ride that thing home, man. Definitely.
We got a message from Vanessa Parsons. These guys are the real deal fishermen from birth. Love my nephew and his teammates and Minnie.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like you popped out with a goddamn fishing rod in your hand, right out of.
I'm gonna tell a funny story on him. His mom said that when he was a kid, they had to ride a pole in the back. If he passed a pond and couldn't fish, he'd start throwing a temper tantrum and crying, so they'd have to stop and let him fish in the pond.
Yeah.
So he'd calm down and they could keep on going down the road.
I was struck by it. Had me hooked.
That's amazing, man.
Listen, I hate to break this to you guys, but a couple of weeks ago we had a psychic on the show, and psychic medium from the Ghost Adventures, Patty Negri. Nice lady. She made a prediction.
She scared me a little bit. But
Yeah, well, Paul
I'm not into ghosts and stuff like that, man.
Paul asked the question, though, right?
Yeah.
Right? Paul asked the question,
But
who's going to...
that's the North one. That's the next season of the
You
North.
think it's going to be for that one?
These guys...
Paul's with .com right
Yeah,
now.
but Paul's going to be up North. But
So for when you guys go back up north, she predicted
They don't
that
go
Wicked
north.
Pisser.
They don't go north,
okay.
these guys.
She's saying Wicked Piss. Well, you never know. They might pull a .com and just show up.
Hey,
Right?
Never know.
never
know,
know. That
man.
could be
That's
that
true.
quiz.
That's true. That's true. I didn't think about that.
And you'll be there about 4 days before them.
Exactly. We got that thing on. We'll be jumping waves all the way there.
You guys don't have to do that. You could just pull the car thing with the rack,
just
whatever
tie
you call
up to one of them.
He was driving down the Bell Parkway,
Draft 'em.
man, up North 95, man. Would you?
A convoy down 95, son.
That's
We'll
it.
let it go.
I love that, man. I love that. With Shane on the back still, on the boat, just going shh. And you're driving down there, man. That would be so awesome. The biggest tuna to this date, lengthwise, and pound wise. What was the big? Not price wise. The biggest fish you got, tuna fish.
What was it? 110.
Yeah, I get 110, 635 pounds or something like that.
Yeah.
Cow.
630 something.
How did you even ride the boat on the way back, man? That thing is like, I saw a 95 incher hanging off the side, you know?
What does that feel? What does that feel like?
Wow.
What does that feel like, man? When you're pulling in the tuna fish and you're pulling them with the, and I'm just watching the show, so everybody wears a glove. You got to wear a glove, and they're pulling and they're cranking and they're pulling and cranking. I want to try it. I'll be honest with you. I was trying to pitch myself to every boat captain that came through so far, except you guys, because I don't want to be uncomfortable. I gotta sit in, I gotta be in the cabin. I'll cook breakfast and shit on the Willow Weber grill and lunch like my man. You know what I'm saying, the hot tuna boat. They cook food on that boat. Really? What do you guys eat on that boat? Sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly. What do you guys eat? Fried chicken.
Goldfish, potted meat, Pop-Tarts.
Fried chicken is okay from the night before. That's when we get gourmet on them.
Some cold pizza.
Cold pizza you can never go wrong with.
There you go.
Especially New York pizza. We're gonna have to help you guys, man, with that.
I was about to ask you. I mean, what is it? New York style or Brooklyn style? I mean, what is it? What's the big style?
Yeah, we'll have to.
Wits End right here in Rockaway.
One of our sponsors actually has. And not because he's our sponsor, his pizza is so freaking good. He cooks it in an Italian oven. And it's like a wood burning oven.
Put with the big, looks like a turtle and shit.
Yeah.
The turtle looking thing.
Oh man, it's so good, man. But
I'm just throwing it out. We love pizza. I mean, Minnie does too. She likes pepperoni.
Okay, here's the deal. I can't do the
New York pizza.
I can't do the pizza right now, probably, but I can get you some good bagels.
Yeah, and bagels
right?
too.
I'll get you the bagels, man. Dynamite, man.
Is it bagels or bagels?
Bagels.
So our cameraman called them bagels. He was
Where?
stayed some time in New York or something. I thought it was something that was popular up there.
Yeah, no bagels.
We call them
Different.
bagels.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and you call it the same thing. What do
I
you
mean,
call?
maybe when you're drunk, you call them bagels. You
Maybe
know?
because he's bouncing around on that
Yeah.
little boat, hitting his head on the rails and stuff like that. Maybe you
Never
didn't realize.
bagel.
Now, I seen Wicked Tune this episode where I saw really bugging my man Bobby Earl. I want to get you on the show one day, Bobby, please, all right? Handsome, whatever. He was real sick. Did you guys get sick too? Because I know there was. I don't know if any future episodes coming forward. I don't want you to talk about anything that's coming forward. But was there anything up to now episodes? You guys didn't
I was
feel
sick
good?
last year.
Yeah.
I was sick. I was dog sick last year.
You probably
but
had that coronavirus. You didn't even know. You had to sitting there. I'm just saying. I never heard of this COVID-19 shit that locked us down. That's a good thing. How did that affect your fishing, the COVID-19?
Man, it honestly didn't. Down here, right before it hit, like people freaked out. They went like you couldn't buy meat at the market or anything. Like people bought them out. So instead of going to the grocery store and buying meat, the people we sell our fish to, they was cutting a lot of our fish, like all of our groupers and stuff. So it was kind of better than ever for them. We was still getting rid of our fish regardless, and they was probably making a little bit more money than they would putting it on the truck. They was cutting it out, selling it to the public. So.
At any point, were they denying them though? Were they not taking, like Japan? Were they not taking anything from the States because of the COVID or whatever?
That's a whole different thing. We don't sell tunas this time of year. We're selling grouper and stuff, and our fish is either going to restaurants around the local cities through our fish house, or they're going on a truck to Canada.
Okay.
So we really didn't have to deal with overseas stuff this time of year.
Awesome.
Luckily, the Canadians kept right on buying fish throughout this whole stuff. They kept their trucks rolling. They was making their money.
Beautiful. Wow.
That's
That's
amazing.
great.
Now,
great.
what's the best tasting fish, or best tasting fish that you guys like to catch, and what's the most fun fish you like to catch besides these big tunas on TV? Like the groupers, are they a fun fish to catch? I don't even know what a grouper tastes like, to be honest with you.
I would say my favorite top two fish, the first fish is going to be a hogfish, hognose snapper. They're a pretty wild-looking fish, unique. We hadn't really caught many of them. We just catch them by mistake, really. And then the second best fish is going to be an African pompano. And both of them are just like melt in your mouth.
Yeah, not yens, melts in your mouth.
Yeah, I see all these people talking about haddock and all that, and I don't know anything about haddock. I think, what's that, fish sticks or something like that?
That's the thing I
Tilapia is
know.
the big
That's
thing
the
now,
thing
too,
I
yeah,
know.
tilapia.
A fillet of fish or whatever, I have no
Fish
clue,
tacos.
man.
No, we need to hook you up with some real tasting fish.
We're gonna do a lot of
Oh, yeah.
trading, bargaining. We got hats for bagels, or bagels, whatever you call it. But we'll do that, and for a T-shirt, and then we'll do something else. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll do a little
pizza.
barter system.
I'll put some, the frozen ice packs in there and stuff like that. You guys ever noodle, man? You guys seem like you did every kind of fishing. You ever catch the catfish by the mouth with your hand?
No lie, I got a man for that. Like I have done it, and I took these. I used to charter fish back in the day, and I kind of got over it. I'm not really a charter kind of person. We go commercial fish now, but when I was doing it, I met a guy, and like he had it dialed in. He was doing it for the science of it. Like he would measure all the fish and put them back in the water. And he took me up there to his hometown lakes and showed it to me. And big shout out to TJ Penninger. That's who did it. That's who showed me, man. And it was a pretty epic trip. One of the craziest things I've ever done.
That's awesome, man. You guys hunt? You guys into hunting? Because I know that you guys seem like you're the real country type guys. I don't know, man.
That's Daniel Boone over here. He's all into the hunt.
Yeah. How many points? What's the biggest? I'm not a hunter either, man. I'm a city slicker, man. That's unfortunate. Like I know guys grow up with. They love to shoot stuff and kill. I not really like that, man.
Man, I don't really eat deer or anything like that, so I don't hunt that much. Daniel likes it though.
I can tell.
Venison.
He was looking at me. He's like,
Venison
yo,
is
this
great,
shit
man.
is fun, man. I know that like watching Rogan a lot. He likes to eat elk meat and stuff like that, man. I never even, if they don't have it in the local butcher or whatever, I'm not eating it. Elk or deer or stuff like that, man. I am so limited in life, man. It's terrible. I gotta open these taste buds up a little bit, man.
Yeah,
The only tuna fish I ever ate, I thought the tunas you catching were in the cans of food, and like, no, that's not them.
Yeah, whole different family.
Yeah, no Charlie in a can here.
What was
chicken
it?
of the sea.
Carl.
I remember that with what's her name? What was her name? Simpson. When she said, "I didn't know that chickens lived in the sea." That was like the old.
I remember that.
Oh my God.
Dang, I remember that.
Chickens in
Jessica
the sea.
Simpson.
Yep, chicken in
That's who
the
it
sea.
was.
Wow.
I'm almost as dumb as her without the blonde hair, to be honest with you, man. Like, I remember when I was fishing as a kid, we used to go over to the right next to the bungalow. I like to put my sponsors in. Right next to the bungalow, they have like a little pier. It's catching like little porgies, maybe like 3 inches long, 4 inches long, maybe a snapper with the bob, whatever. I don't even know. But I went to throw the cast, and I caught my boy right in the eye. It got caught in the eye. My father's like, yo, don't pull it. Don't pull. I'm like, what? Don't pull. And I'm like, yo, it's stuck. It's stuck. It was in his eye, man.
Man.
But luckily it was only a little porgy hook. It was like the long, I don't know, snapper hook, whatever. But it got caught in his eye, man. Thank God I didn't take out an eye, man. But, man, my fishing career was done. I was done fishing, man.
Traumatized.
Bad experience from the get-go.
I think only I would go on one of them cruises, them booze cruises or some shit like that. But you guys seem like the kind of guys that would go to a booze cruise with a fishing pole, like, you know what I mean, like sneaking on the back.
Fishing off the back.
Yeah, definitely.
You guys ever do some crazy shit like swimming with sharks? Never did.
Now,
anything?
I want to get into scuba diving. Like, I would think that would be so cool just to go down there and see, but
Yeah,
I don't know. This whole sharks thing is a little scary.
They had
Yeah,
that.
I'm Mike Tyson. I can't knock him out.
Yeah, they had Tyson on the other day doing it, man. That was pretty
Yo,
cool.
I'll tell you something really
Cool
crazy,
episode.
right? I went to the beach the other day, right? And I'm sitting there. You know that the planes pull the signs? Yo, a sign went by. I'm swimming into my son. A sign goes by. It says Shark Week. I look at it. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is it? You can't put Shark Week up when I'm swimming. Like, that's you crazy? Like, it's like my son said to me. He goes, Dad, we're driving in the car. You ever get into an accident? I'm like, are you really crazy? Like, what's
Why are you
that?
going to talk it up?
Yeah, so whoever put that together, Shark Week, and had Tyson on, that's funny. It had Tyson on the cover, and it flew by the Rockaway Beach, Shark Week. I was like, yo, time to go in.
It got right out. I would have jumped out of the water so fast.
Are you absolutely kidding me? Let me see if I can touch anything over here on this Facebook. 7,000 pound fish. Yeah, he caught one in fresh water, barehanded. Yes, he did. Tiger fish. I don't know. The tiger was something from Winnie the Pooh. Who else we got here? Kitchen kingfish. Kingfish, I guess. I don't even know what the hell that is. Kingfish. They sound good to me. Anything you name a kingfish has got to be a good fish, I guess, right?
That's what we tournament fish for.
Oh, okay. How about the barracuda things, man? Because I watched a couple of them, Discovery, whatever channel. How about barracudas?
You want to catch a barracuda, we can hook you up with a barracuda. Let me tell you, we got some world-class barracuda fishing around here.
Wait, and then they like actually like jump out and swim like that? Like, that's for real? They're dangerous?
When you hook them, sometimes they'll jump like 8-10 foot out the water.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool fight, and they got some wicked teeth.
Wow, I've
Sick.
seen that. I've seen it on, watching the channels at late at night and stuff like that, them kind of fish. But like I said, I caught porgies this big. Guy was like, yo, the porgies run like this in the ocean. I'm like, get out of here, really? I had no clue.
Yeah.
We would throw, I mean, this is bad. I hate anybody who's into fish. We used to catch buckets of them shits back in like 88, 89, and we'd throw it on the highway, like the fish, and like bloop, bloop, flapping around, so the cars run them over, split, like a ketchup package. You ever get the packet and shooting out like?
Yo, Peter's on their way here right now.
Peter. No, but I think fish are differently, right?
We don't
Right?
condone that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought fish are different. I look at, like, say, a deer and a tuna. Things that are in water, I don't consider to be. I'm sure they are, like maybe like a seal or something like that, like a mammal. But a fish, I mean.
People don't really put that together. Like I agree with you.
Oh, okay, I'm not like the only one out there that's saying that.
Yeah, there's definitely more people worried about dolphins and whales and seals.
Of course. Do you like what you said? One of the guys said the other night. They were like, when you see the birds, that's like a fish finder. I was like, yeah, they're pretty cool. But then they told me up north that the birds, they were throwing the bait out. They were eating all the bait. They were eating all the bait. I was like, what the fuck?
They'll get aggravating sometimes. They'll be swarming down, eating your baits.
They'll do the same thing to us trolling and dive on your baits and get them. Like, that can be a blessing or a curse. It just depends on the situation.
And there's some badass birds. They can like dive and swim down 20, 30 feet to get your bait. Like, there ain't no hiding them from them.
They ever come onto your boat and steal your snacks?
Yeah, they're goldfish.
I used to golf, and I was at a tournament. A crow flew into my cart, stuck his head in, and took my whole bag of pretzels a couple of years ago. And just flew away, just, laughing at me, I'm sure.
We've had a couple birds fly in the boat. One time, no lie, we was riding, like, we're riding in the boat just like me and Daniel are now, and a flying fish, like, flew in between us and the console. Like, whew, wow. It was pretty crazy.
That's awesome, man. Zach and Daniel, they are the Rasta Rocket buddies, man, and Shane.
I was saying
it. I was just saying Shane and Shane, the muscles.
And Dan too, right?
Yeah, Dan. That guy Dan.
And Dan too.
Yeah, he's involved too. A big old guy. Yeah, he's all right. But listen, towards the end of this season, I like to get you guys back on. Hopefully, you guys hit the top of the leaderboard in season 7, and then we come on and celebrate, like, just little Rasta man reggae music.
We'll come up. If we win, we'll have to come up and join y'all in your studio.
Hey, man,
that sounds good.
The
man.
invite is always there, bro. We got the beach right down the block too, man. You're more than welcome to come out.
You guys can come out and fish in the morning, go out there and catch some stripers that are swimming by or whatever, or makos or whatever. I don't even know what the fish. Oh, bull sharks. They swim over here a lot. That's good to know. They can swim up a river and in fresh water and eat you there too.
We get a lot of threshers here. It seems like the threshers are the ones that really come here a lot.
Yeah, we don't get too many. I think I've caught one. We snugged it by the tail, bluefin fish.
Those things are vicious, man. Like they're
colder water.
Yeah.
I don't know, colder water. I like the warmer water, man. I'd be down by the warmer water any day of the week if I was a fish. I wouldn't even come up north, man. Not even when it's warm out. But listen, guys, I do appreciate it, and I wish you guys the best of luck moving forward. Win or lose, you guys are coming back on.
Absolutely.
And the invitation is here to join us up here in the studio. We can fit another 3 guys in here. But I appreciate it. Buck the System and the Rasta Rockets, man. Hey, man.
Thank you for the support, everybody.
And thank you guys for the support too. We want to thank all the viewers that tuned in tonight. A lot of them aren't part of Buck the System. Feel free to follow us, and vice versa. Buck the System viewers, follow these guys, man.
Bye, man. Tell them bye. Yeah.
Get that mini Instagram going, man. Get the 1 million subscribers. Forget about you guys, man. Make the money on that. But thank you guys, and I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Sir, man.
All right,
guys. Thank you so much, guys.
It took long enough to do it, man. It took long enough to get these guys on,
right.
man.
It was worth the wait.
Totally worth it. I agree.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, and you guys can follow us on Facebook right here with Buck the System Podcast. If you guys have any questions or you guys want to sponsor anything, maybe the Rasta Rocket wants to jump in on sponsorship, it's Buck the System Podcast at gmail.com. I appreciate it, guys, man. Thank you so much. And everybody out there, from Brian to Buck, God bless you guys and stay safe, man. Thank you so much, man. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. Peace.
Yeah, dude, no problem.
Enjoyed it, y'all.
Thanks for listening to Buck the System. Next time, Buck Gritano will do it all again, and we hope you'll join us for the ride. In the meantime, you can reach out to us at buckthesystempodcast@gmail.com with questions, comments, suggestions. We'd love to hear from you. Our email address again is buckthesystempodcast@gmail.com. We'll see you next time on Buck the System.